Hi everyone, and welcome to Leonora AstroTarot. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really am happy to have you here with me. I know how much stuff there is out there, ways to entertain yourself, other readers. I really am happy for you to be here connecting with me. So yeah, today we're going to be doing something like a little bit different, something I haven't done before, which is all about animal spirits. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the intentions before I get into the read, because I am very interested in the idea of animal spirits, really. I experience a lot of synchronicities around animals, things like that. I think for those of you that connect to this idea, I definitely, back when I was really first connecting to my intuition, I started meditating, I started kind of opening up that kind of door. I definitely had sort of an OG, like an original spirit animal that I would dream about and then I would see in reality. I don't know if any of you guys out there have had similar experiences like that. I first dreamed of this animal and then I started to see it in a very urban environment, which was quite unusual. Do leave me comments if you have interesting stories about things like this, because I'm so very curious about it. But I found over time and over the years, I still have a strong connection to that particular animal, but I'll notice that for different time periods or different kinds of experiences, it's as if I'll start to notice a different animal, as if this animal will sort of guide me through different life stages. But it does seem, of course, and this is true with all sorts of synchronicities, that the more you tune into these things, the more you're given. It's guidance, really, in the end, right? It's guidance from wherever we can receive it. So if you think of about spirit guides, guardians, things like that, but I also am a big believer in sort of Mother Earth and her many kinds of creatures are there to also offer us guidance and protection in moments of struggle and in our harder times and in our good times too, to come and bless us and to protect us. And of course there's a lot of shamanic traditions around working with the idea of spirit animals, often through traumatic situations. So whatever this topic means for you, of course, if you have never engaged with this idea before, maybe this will all be new to you. But I think we're inviting into this reading any animal spirits that want to make themselves known to you, who are sort of on your team at the moment and have some guidance and messages to offer you. So as ever, I'm currently offering astrology readings, so if you're interested in what I'm offering, all of the information is in the description box below. I'm currently offering natal chart readings and transit readings. That may change, and I may also offer some variations on the current offerings, but do get in touch with me at leonora.astrotarot@gmail.com if you'd like to work with me one-on-one. Today we currently have 5 piles. Pile 1 is the orange calcite, pile 2 is the red calcite, pile 3 is the pyrite, pile 4 is the pink tourmaline, and pile 5 is the amazonite. Go with whatever is tugging you. You are always more than welcome to pick more than one pile, and this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it is when you were meant to find it. So again, I'm very happy to have you here, and I will leave you for a moment to pick your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1, my orange calcites. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are asking all about your spirit animals. We want to know what wild creatures are out there guiding you, supporting you, protecting you, and what messages they would like to convey currently. So we're inviting any spirit animal that would like to make itself known to the reading is welcome. Pile 1. We have the otter. This is obviously a collective read, I should add, so please take only what feels like it's meant for you. You always know best, always exercise discernment in these collective reads, but we do have the otter coming through for you. First, we have the polar bear. We have the fox. Nice. So we also have thorns. We have soulmates. We have death. We have the elementalist. Interesting card there. We have the crow. So another spirit animal coming through here in the Cosma Visions deck. And we have the weasel. Interesting. Okay, so pile 1. Let's get into this. We have the otter. So this is a very watchful, almost alert energy, right? I do think that there is, yes, an animal spirit around you that is very invested in you getting something right. That's coming through to me. There's also a lot of green and blue around. So this has to do with the heart. It has to do with the throat as well. It has to do with speaking your truth or speaking something from the heart. And specifically, I feel like this otter energy is watching over you in that regard, wants you to guide you in speaking from the heart specifically. There's obviously something that you want to speak on, something that you want to say, something that you haven't said. Just the alertness of this otter. Of course, you may be embodying something of this otter's energy, right? The otter is a creature that lives in and around rivers, and whenever we talk of water and water-like creatures, it speaks to emotions and the depths. I do think this otter is sort of guiding you to become more comfortable with sort of moving between the kind of the water and the land. Moving between your emotional and intuitive self and also your more spiritual self, the spiritual realms, and learning how to ground those things and basically make real your dreams, make real your fantasies, translate all of that knowing and that knowledge into the real world. But I do think it has something to do with speaking on your emotions and learning how to engage with your emotions and convey them, but ground them. I do think that's something that is really important to you right now, Pile 1, when you're finding this reading. You may have feel like you're developing in a spiritual sense, developing internally and emotionally, but struggling to figure out ways to ground those things. And this is what this otter spirit is here to help you with. So next up we have the polar bear. Nurture. Yeah. Allow any anxieties and worries to be gently released and offered up to be healed. Yeah. Bears in general are very protective, just sort of shields, really, emotional shields. They're obviously a creature with a lot of stature, can be slightly intimidating, but what I'm feeling with this polar bear is wanting to convey a strong message of safety. That you are okay, you are on solid ground. I know with a polar bear that feels like not a nice message to say, but yeah, specifically with the polar bear, I do think that the polar bear is also speaking to comfort in uncertainty too. That's coming through. We have nurture, allow anxieties and worries to gently be released and offered up to be healed. Yes, but there's something about finding comfort and protection in uncertainty. Maybe you feel like you are moving through uncertain waters, like you're in unknown territory lately, pile 1. And this polar bear is really conveying a message about grounding in uncertainty, which is kind of similar to the otter's message too. So these creatures, we can imagine, are sort of gathered around you to give you guidance and support with these things you're dealing with. There's a lot of unknowns around you, Pole 1, and I think this polar bear wants to speak to you on, I suppose, self-nurturing and finding nurture outside of, in the unknown, finding a way to relax into certain questions you have, or if you feel like you're being, for instance, guided by the night sky here, by the stars, by the beyond, and there's not a lot of things in your environment that are offering you guidance. Nurture those things that do. Like, nurture this way, like this cosmic map of the skies, right? Nurture those aspects of you to give you a sense of grounding in times of uncertainty. And again, the otter wants to speak to you on how to translate this knowledge, this intuitive knowledge, to the earth, to solid ground, essentially. So we do have the fox, which is a little bit of a different energy, right? It's almost like this otter and the polar bear, they're sort of facing one another. I do have one last message actually about the polar bear, and it speaks to, if those of you had on your mind, if those of you that are parents or have parenting on your mind, then this polar bear is really guiding you in this way, offering support if you are parenting, but also if that's something that you're trying to create and achieve, that this polar bear is with you, is guiding you towards that dream. So the fox, is quite a different energy from these two. The fox is cunning, is clever. This fox is giving me quite a little bit of a flirty vibe. This fox is giving me a passionate vibe too. And with the yellow, which is the solar plexus, this is all about personal power and confidence. Yes, this fox is guiding you in embracing your sense of power, your confidence, your savvy, your cool, like all of that. Your fox wants to boost your sense of self-worth and to know that you have a lot to offer. There's something very sexy to me about this fox, which I don't always pick up about the fox, but wants you to have confidence in your body, in your sexuality, and that you have a lot to offer in those areas, to feel more comfortable in that area. But there's something very smart and very sexy about this fox that's coming through to me. And I think this fox, just wants to stir up and encourage those aspects in you, wants you to feel, sorry, there's a loud siren out there that's just slightly distracting me. This fox, I want to take a closer look at this fox. This fox also wants to connect you with your passion, and I think for some has to do with desire and real romantic or sexual passion. If this is something that you're feeling, if there is someone that has caught your eye, or you're just very passionate about someone, this fox is sort of teaching you how to channel that passion, to let it drive you in a positive way, but also how to come into your own. Perhaps some of you are a little bit more modest, a little bit more shy in that area of life, maybe. And this fox is sort of wanting you to kind of grow into this aspect of yourself and have a sense of confidence and a sense of play also when it comes to stuff like this. We do have thorns. We have thorns here. So your spirit animals are sort of trying to, if you have studied, again, my words today. If you have struggled a little bit with your self-confidence and self-worth in really embracing your sexuality, self-confidence, perceiving yourself as desirable and wanted, your spirit animals are really trying to help you and guide you with this, to feel comfortable in your body, to love your body, to nurture it, to honor it, and to let you know that you are beautiful, you have beauty, and you should be seen. Beauty is entirely in the eye of the beholder, of course, and there is no one out there that isn't beautiful in the eyes of someone. And you're no different, Pearl One. There is a feeling that you perhaps do struggle with some insecurities, and your spirit animal team do want to help you with this, to see yourself as the rose and to not let these thorns really affect you. They want you to feel beautiful. That's a lovely message. Some of you may have just been really struggling with this lately. And with this soulmates card, I was sensing that this otter is sort of trying to guide you towards speaking something that has to do with your heart and your emotions. And with this fox and his, I don't know why I said his. The fox is this is a gender neutral reading, but I'm not sure why this is a male fox. But there's passion in that card, right? A lot of sexual and romantic passion. So for some of you, may be sort of connecting to somebody at the time of this reading, and this. Basically, your animal spirit team really wants to guide you towards this person and forming a connection, forming a very loving, very soulful, very higher connection here, right? Look at this embrace between these two. This is something very meaningful, but this is a card in which both parties are very open to the other and are willing to be seen entirely by the other. So with this thorn cards, your spirit animal team is sort of pulling your focus towards your own struggles with self-image, with your appearance, with your sexuality, all of that as being a blockage that they want to help you work through in order to reach this state of being entirely open towards somebody else, because there is transition coming for you, Pile 1. With this death card, there's movement, there's a rebirth, there's death and rebirth. You're moving to a different stage of life. Some of you may be entering into a relationship, or a relationship may be headed your way, and this is what your spirit team are helping to guide you with. There is a needed change and transition to allow this soulmate energy in, but I think you do need to do some sort of work in not being so hard on yourself and particularly critical of your body, and seeing yourself with more clarity. I know this is really challenging. It's really challenging to ever see yourself with clarity, but to love and respect yourself, this is nothing that you can get from others, right? Love your own body. Know that you have value, have so much value and so much to offer a potential partner, soulmate. Because if you doubt that, you see, your animal spirits that don't want you to doubt that, do not doubt that. It blocks your ability. Like, this fox character really wants you to feel good and feel pleasure, and to have all of those kind of life experiences where you just sort of like let go and just feel good, rather than worrying about the way you look, whether you're being judged, all of these thorny kind of types of things. So we have the Elementalist here. What a great card. And also, this is very cosmic, just the way there's this dancer here. Again, I'm being drawn to the idea of the physical body, of using your physical body with ease and comfort, and trying to learn to relate to it differently. You know, perhaps you're someone that maybe you've struggled recently with this in whatever way. It'll be different for each. Maybe some of you have been unwell, physically unwell. There's been changes to your body. Your animal team really wants you to reconnect with your body in one way or the other, whether it's taking up certain classes, hobbies, practices, exercises that just make you feel like you are, like your body is sort of yours, and it's not just like something that's attached to you. Like, it's not like to really feel like it's a tool of pleasure, and that you can have positive experiences with and through your body. It's not just about sexuality. Like, it's not that. It's just obviously, like, that's one aspect of our physical self, but just to not feel like you're just walking around carrying your body, but to just feel into your body. Obviously, these spirit animal guides all have very different kinds of bodies and physical biological presences in the real world, right? And they want you to connect to yours. You are here, you are human, you have a certain shape and size and height and all of that. To love it, just to love it, whatever it is. I know these things are so much harder than just there's a lot of inner work that has to go in for all of us, right, to achieve this sort of state of self-love and respect. But you're being asked to do that, and your animal spirits are really guiding you in doing that. And I think if you're able to just sort of get on better terms almost with your physical self, it will open up something quite cosmic to you. I don't know if any of you dance or take dance classes, but that's coming through to me, that you may experience so much joy and pleasure of these through these things. We have the crow, so we do have another we also have the weasels, so you have quite a lot of animals coming through to you, Pile 1. This crows speak to me personally of almost supernatural knowledge. I know that they are seen by some people as omens. I don't see any creatures as omens. I'm not going to read those things that way. But with the crow, I do think that you're also, again, I for whatever reason, being drawn back to the body, that perhaps those of you that picked this pile may have had real struggles with your body recently. For some, in some cases, eating disorders are coming through. To me, it won't be everyone, of course, but like, I think some of the issues or focus on your body has sort of created some blockages in you just experiencing life in a very full way. And in one of those ways is being able to pick up information. For instance, if we're very, very information of different kinds. So if we're very, very focused on our physical self, on our body, on our self in general, we miss out on so much that's going on around us. For instance, if we walk down the street trying to disguise aspects of our body and that's where our focus is, we're not noticing things that are going on around. We're maybe not noticing the crows or the foxes, like we're not noticing certain creatures. We're just not noticing qualities of life. Our experience can be very much diminished by excessive self-consciousness. And I do think this is what these animals are trying to draw your focus to, because of course when we're speaking of these spirit animals, we're also speaking about synchronicity, spiritual guidance, and all of these things. It's like we have to have some clarity in our perception and openness to our perception to pick up on these messages. So perhaps you have spirit animals and perhaps you have spirit guides that are trying to reach you, but sometimes your focus is clouded by self-consciousness or just an inward focus, worries, things like that. Because the crow does have supernatural knowledge. It's like there's so much more you could be experiencing of your reality, Paul 1. There's so much more there that wants to be seen by you. We have the weasel. This is a curious, because it has something on its mouth here. I'm not sure what. I think it's a bird of some kind. What am I getting here? Okay, what I'm feeling here is something about being able to, I mean, this weasel is being a little bit of a predator, and I won't use that word predator, but being very active and in connecting with the fox, this idea of really owning your own desire and passion and seeing yourself as allowing yourself to embody the active or the yang principle, regardless of whatever gender you are. Allowing yourself to open up to that very active part of you that pursues things rather than receives them. So to make things happen rather than waiting. So there's something about this weasel energy that's making me think just needing to activate that part of you that is really, really owns their passions and desires, and to see yourself. Perhaps you've had experiences lately, Paul 1, that have really weakened your confidence, made you feel that you couldn't sort of create effect in the outside world, or just may have just sort of weakened your confidence in different ways, I feel. And I think this weasel is asking you to see yourself as being more powerful, active, strong, but also just like very active principle, the yang, that goes for things. This may be again something your spirit animal team are just sort of like guiding you towards, sort of rebuilding your strength. And I do think that starts for many of you with your body, with your actual physical strength, and how that will actually translate to helping you rebuild your confidence. And it's not about being a particular shape or size or losing weight or anything like that. For some of you that may not be an issue at all, but all of these things are connected, and that's what your spirit animal team is really drawing your focus to, the connection between all of these things, but wanting you to be active in going to get the things you want, wanting you to feel strong and very capable, and living out your passions and all of that. These are really, really beautiful messages. Let me see if there's anything I want to add here. Just to, with this death card and with the soulmates, there is so much positivity that wants to come through. There are changes that should and are waiting to happen for you, but they may be blocked only by your own fears, some of your own insecurities, and holding yourself back. There's a lot of restraint in this pile that's coming through to me, or just a lot of just not valuing yourself in the way that you should be, not seeing your own beauty and your own power, your own talents, your own skills, all of that. Your animal spirit team is sort of there to kind of pump you up and also help you rebuild, because for some of you there may have been something particular or just a series of things that knocked your confidence. Your polar bear, yes, wants you to nurture yourself very much, wants you to care for yourself, understand that what you can and cannot control, there's uncertainty here, but you can make it through. But your fox also wants you to kind of reclaim your confidence, your passion, Get out there and flirt. That's what I'm getting from this fox. So yeah, I hope this resonated with some of you out there. Do leave me a comment below if this feels like it was these are your animals. But yeah, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff that helps build this channel, and I look forward to reading for you next time. Pile 1, bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You picked the red calcite, and today we're asking for messages and guidance from your spirit animals. So yeah, curious about who will come through for you today, Pile 2. But if you didn't catch my intro, this is all about sort of the guidance that may be around you that maybe you don't recognize, or perhaps you do. Perhaps you pick up on a lot of synchronicities that are related to certain animals at different times in your life, in different moments. So we're asking for any guidance and messages that would currently be helpful to you. Pile 2, so we have the octopus, we have the peacock, we have the bear. We also have metamorphosis here, we have the shore in reverse, we have the 8 of embers, we have the mender, we have the ace of lotuses, and we have bluebell over here. Okay, so Pile 2, let's get into this. This is of course a collective read, so please only take what feels like it's meant for you and leave anything else. So we have the octopus, and this card right away is giving me such a sense of I feel like Pile 2s, it's almost as if you found yourself in a situation of some sense of power, or there's something that you're doing, and this octopus is really giving me this vibe of can I pull this off? It's almost as if you're in a vehicle and you've just got your license and you're like, can I really do this? And your octopus spirit animal is coming through to say, oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You are very capable. Look at all the color here. At the top of this octopus's head, it's like you are switched on, you are aware, you're very, but it's almost as if there's a lot of things that are moving around you, and your octopus is trying to help you ground and trying to show you that you are very, very capable of whatever it is that has landed on your plate. Yeah, whatever this is for you, Pile 2, it may be something that you're doing specifically, a new environment that you found yourself in, but it's like your octopus is coming through to say you are in the driver's seat, you are very much in control, you can handle whatever it is that you need to do, you are multi-talented, because with all these octopus tentacles, if that's what they're called, I'm not sure, it's like you have a lot of responsibility, or it's like you're being required to do many things at once, and it may feel quite overwhelming to you. But the octopus, but I'm feeling it's very positive though. These are very positive. It's not like they don't feel like demands to me. And it may not be that there's many things. It may just feel that you've suddenly found yourself in a kind of moment that you feel overwhelmed by, and you have doubts about whether you are up to the task or you can pull something off. It's something like that. And this octopus is, I mean, if we imagine the way an octopus swims also, it's incredibly elegant. It just sort of glides, right? It glides around. This octopus is wanting to kind of instill you with this sort of almost like a graceful motion, and know that you are able to do things which beforehand may have seemed impossible or unachievable. That's coming through to me for some reason. Some of you may be attempting to take on something which may have felt incredibly hard, or there may have been times where you felt like you couldn't pull it off. And your octopus is like, no, like they are here to help you move with ease and grace through changes as you undertake whatever it is that you're doing. So we have the peacock here next to the octopus. The peacock, what an incredible creature the peacock is. Wow. Self-love, time to celebrate you and all your magnificent light. Yeah, it may be that you have come into some success, or you will be coming into this success. Perhaps this is what these animals are guiding you towards, really achieving something. This peacock is asking you, there was a similar message also in pile 1. is to absolutely show your feathers. Show your feathers. Do not hide. Be proud of your feathers, like whatever that means to you, whether it is your physical self, your body, whether it's something that you're doing, you're working on. Your peacock is guiding you to show it. Be proud of it, like get behind it, like you are amazing and people should see it. Like perhaps some people are gonna look at those feathers and be like, oh my god, that's a bit much, like I don't have feathers like that. But these are your natural feathers. Like the peacock isn't trying to show off. I mean, it kind of is, I guess. It's trying to attract a mate, I guess, with those amazing feathers. But in general, it's like, this is just the peacock's feathers. And I do feel like you have a lot to give and a lot to show, and you shouldn't make yourself smaller for anyone. And you should really know how amazing your feathers are. That's coming through to me, part 2. Like, be proud of your feathers, know that they're amazing, and show them off. Like, I'm not encouraging you to become very arrogant here and boastful, but this is about self-love. So love your feathers and know that your feathers are magnificent. And I do think that this message is coming through because a lot of you perhaps have been struggling with that. Whether it's something about your actual appearance or whether it has to do with something that you're doing or something that you're working on, like struggling to find confidence. Again, it was similar. There was something similar in pile 1. Be proud of who you are, what you've achieved, what you're capable of achieving. Again, because your octopus wants you to know that you're more than capable. You can do whatever it is that you've set out to do, whatever is on your plate, whatever you're being asked to do. You have that capacity, and your peacock wants you to be proud of yourself and stand behind your own gifts and talents, your own strength, your own beauty, all of that, and just be like, yeah. And some people are maybe not going to receive you well. Some people will just feel small perhaps in your presence because they don't have these incredible peacock feathers, but that doesn't mean that you should hide them. No. So your peacock wants you to have, the peacock is also visionary in a way. Like those feathers, it has to do with amazing sort of visionary experiences. So if you're having ideas that are kind of slightly out of the box and people are saying, oh, you'll never pull that off, something like that, the peacock is like, oh yeah, you can. Yes, you can make the world as beautiful as a peacock feather. You can achieve whatever you set your mind to. Dream big and dream in beautiful dreams. Your peacock is here to support you in that. So yeah, we have the bear, which is quite a different energy here from the octopus and peacock. The bear is sort of looking in a different direction here, and there is a little bit of the feeling I'm getting with this bear. There is a kind of a heavy, I think, look, the bear is a symbol of strength, right? And it can be quite a protective. It can be, I think some see the bear as sort of more of an authoritative figure. I see it as a protector, as a warm protector. I think whatever situation you're finding yourself in, which may be quite new for you, it's asking you to sort of step up a little bit, take the reins of something. There is a heaviness here, and it may have to do with lack of confidence, yes, that was coming through, or whether you can achieve something, but also there's just sort of a lingering sadness that I'm picking up with this bear. I think this bear wants to let you know that there's all of this positive energy coming through for you, opportunity, and there's just a worry that you might miss something because you're looking the other way or you're feeling some kind of sadness. Yeah, there's something a little bit melancholy that's coming through to me, or just this was coming through to me on another read recently as well. Negative thinking. So if you find yourself at times in negative thinking patterns, self-defeated thoughts about yourself, but also about life and the potential for life, your bear really wants to guide you through that, to offer you protection and comfort when you're in that dark space, because those kinds of thoughts can really get in your way. With this self-love, if you're thinking negatively about yourself and you're not proud of your feathers and all of that, it's like your bear really wants you to know that you are supported and comforted in your darker moments, whatever they look like for you, Pile 2. that you are very much loved, like in the sort of spirit realm, and that when you feel deeply alone, know that there is energy around you that is is trying to soothe you and is wishing for the very best for you. We have metamorphosis, and there's all this color here that's sort of matching this color on the octopus's head. Metamorphosis and these butterflies, of course, we have these butterflies coming through, speaks to growth and transition, natural growth and transition. So there is stuff that wants to happen here, and it's so colorful. There's something so colorful about these changes, and with the peacock feathers, it's like allowing yourself to enter a new phase, a new world that's sort of more rich in color, more multi-dimensional. With the octopus energy, it's very multifaceted, at times to the point of feeling a little bit overwhelming to you. Maybe this metamorphosis, it hasn't been easy, and perhaps you're still struggling at times. Again, it's just, it keeps coming back to this self-worth, self-love thing that's sort of at the center of this read here with the peacock, is believing that you deserve things, to believing that you're capable. This is what your spirit animal team is really guiding you in, is knowing that yes you are. A lot of these beliefs you hold about yourself are just not true. They're perhaps planted there by others, by people around you, people that have influenced you, whoever it is, but they're not true. It's like you don't see the beauty of you. Again, like perhaps if you were drawn to Pole 1, there was a lot about that in Pole 1 as well. We have the shore here in reverse. Underneath is octopus, which is obviously a creature of the water. This card makes me think of sort of moving between these rocky waters to somewhere safe. Overall, there's this big vibe of being in a transitional phase here. And if you, with this octopus energy, if you're, for instance, if you started a new job and you found that you have more pressure than you normally do, or you've just been thrown into some kind of new scenario, it's like you're in this in-between phase, and it will calm down. It will, the changes around you will ease, and you will find your footing with whatever it is that you're going through. That's for sure, that your spirit animal team wants you to know. But right now, it kind of feels like there's a lot up in the air. With this 8 of Embers, this is the 8 of the 8 of Wands. So this is a card of momentum, of movement, of going places too. It's like, it's a very positive feeling I'm getting. Yeah, it's almost like some of you have been promoted in some way, and it doesn't have to be in your job. It's like you've sort of graduated to a sort of higher level in some way, or you will be. This is what your animal spirit team is guiding you towards. But there's so much self-doubt about whether you're ready, whether you're capable, and all of that it's sort of, it is creating a little bit of a slowdown in energy and a little bit of stagnant energy. And your spirit animal team is trying to guide you through this, and particularly this bear is so protective of you. I love this bear's energy. We have the Mender here. This is a beautiful card. I love this deck so much. We have hands here. This is interesting. It's like a flower instead of a head, and then we have hands there. Yeah. What's coming through to me here is, if there's something a little bit different or unusual about you, and there are about many of us, we all have our little quirks, right? Is learning to be proud of your differences or the ways that you are unlike other people. This is under the Peacock card that was speaking of sort of loving your feathers, like your magnificence. It's almost as if there are things that are beautiful about you that you've been told by others that they're not, that they're actually things to be ashamed of, or they're in some way wrong, or they shouldn't be. The Mender here, yeah, there's correction that needs to happen around this belief system, around sort of, you should be proud of yourself and who you are, Paul 1. Like, absolutely. But if you feel like, or have, it's like if you have felt like you have had to correct certain aspects of yourself to fit in or be acceptable, or there were things about you that you couldn't show, you just couldn't show, there's a necessity here to do some repair on that kind of thinking, and to basically allow your true colors to show. Like that's it. This is what this peacock wants for you, because your true colors should be seen, because they are beautiful. And if you have any lingering thoughts or beliefs knocking around that are contradicting that or saying otherwise, they are just wrong. They are inaccurate. Like you, as you are beautiful and capable and should be seen and valued, admired, respected, celebrated, all of that. We have the Ace of Lotuses. It's like the Ace of Cups, which is just this overflowing, loving card. It's under this bear. And again, like I said, I was feeling like this bear spirit animal is just so incredibly protective of you, but they also want you to be more open-hearted, to let this love flow and show. I don't know why, for some reason, is coming through to me, which won't apply for everyone. But if some of you are sort of in same-sex connections, or there's that feeling of hiding there, there's just something about knowing that your love and attractions are pure and real and absolutely valid. They're as meaningful as anyone else's. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There should be no shame about love. No. And that's what your bear wants you to know, that this love, this overflowing love, it should be absolutely shared. Do not attach any kind of shame. Show your peacock feathers, like be proud of who you are. Don't hide the ways that you're different or unusual. Why would we want everyone to look the same and just have the same boring colors? No, hell no. So we have Bluebell here. Some lovely blue energy, and the blue in particular, the blue is of the throat chakra. Again, the message I'm getting with this card is just really about standing behind who you are and being proud of who you are, and also speaking on it. So yeah, with the blue, with the throat chakra, it's about sort of opening up, like sharing your message, or there's something like that. There's something here with the way this bluebell is sort of slightly drooping, or there's a tiredness or maybe fatigue to this. Like I said, there's something about this metamorphosis experience that has been extremely tough, and it may come with some kind of fatigue. There's pain here that has come with. It's like that feeling, oops, sorry to knock you, that feeling of like nothing worth having comes easy, and no positive change and growth like is without growing pains. You may feel, and with this octopus energy of just like, am I ready for this? Like, can I take this on? Am I strong and capable enough? It may be that you're fighting with a little bit of a sense of fatigue or feeling jaded, or perhaps something, it's like you won this hard-won battle, but you're so exhausted by it that you don't feel able to kind of reap the benefits or celebrate it because it took so much out of you to reach where you were. Something like that. I do think there's something that perhaps you want to speak on, but it's also a general sense of getting behind your own voice, feeling proud of who you are in more than one way. Perhaps there's something you have really wanted to speak on, but you have been wary or feeling like you had to conceal some part of yourself. But with this Shore in reverse too, it's like trying to move out of a more chaotic atmosphere to somewhere more meaningful. And I think you are getting there. If you're not already there, I think you're arriving there, or it's your animal spirits are really trying to guide you there to a space where you can feel entirely comfortable, like in your own truth, with who you are, stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there, but thank you, spirit animals, and thank you, Paltu, for showing up here. And I hope this resonated with you. If any of these creatures are already familiar, if you already sort of see peacocks and things, I'd love to hear from you guys. If this is, and the butterflies, of course, if those things were significant for you, do leave me a comment, and do like, subscribe, and all the usual things that help build the channel. But I look forward to reading for you next time. Thank you, Paltu. Bye. Hello, Pal 3, and welcome to your reading. You picked the Pyrite. And today we're asking for messages from your animal spirit. So looking forward to see who will come through for you with some guidance. But of course, this is a collective read, so please only take what feels like it's meant for you and leave what doesn't. Always exercise discernment here. Oh, the peacock! The peacock, a peacock also came in pile 2. So we have the koi carp and we have the starfish. Nice. So we also have here cultivation. We have the 3 of lotuses in reverse. We have the phoenix in reverse. We have the 2 of embers. We have the 6 of trees, and we have the raven. Wow, so another powerful spirit animal coming through there. So let's start with the peacock. Yeah, interesting. This peacock is sort of also, it's just very notable to me that this peacock is sort of turned away from the spread almost. This peacock, yeah, oh, so the peacock is really going their own way. There's some kind of energy here that the peacock is guiding you through, which has to do with embracing who you really are. The peacock is very colorful, obviously. That's what it's known for, these amazing feathers, and being proud of those feathers. So being proud of all the ways they are different and unique. So this is what this peacock is guiding you with, is being true to yourself and going your own way, which may be away from the past. You may be in a stage of life right now, pile 3, where you're having to let go of a lot or turn your back on a lot. So this peacock, this is what this peacock animal spirit is really invested in, is helping you to do that. But it has to do with acknowledging difference, acknowledging your true colors and how perhaps they do not match that of those that you have been around. Perhaps you've left a job, perhaps you've left a relationship, a social dynamic, something like that. This is what this peacock wants you to know, that you're doing the right thing in being true to yourself, but also giving you strength, but also knowing that you should be proud of the ways that you are different, your beauty. You should be. There's a lot of similar messages that the animal spirit are giving, which have to do with like knowing that you as you are is enough. Like that has been a common thread throughout these reads, is that be proud of your physical form, your biology, all of that. Be proud of who you are. But in this particular spread, this does seem that you're at a phase that you're needing strength to go your own way, and this peacock spirit is really helping to guide you with that. I hope I don't set fire to my shirt during this reading. That would be a little bit dramatic. I'd probably have to redo this whole thing, but let's see if I can avoid that. So we have the koi carp, abundance. Move with the flow of abundance around and through you. There is something here about you going with the flow. So these koi carp are encouraging you to move with the currents of your own life, which definitely seems to be a way, because we have this larger fish that's almost going the way of the peacock, but there's other people that are going in an, or this is how I'm seeing this. There are other fish that are going another way, but there's this overall sense with you piles 3s that you're swimming against the tide right now. You're having to break away and go in another direction. Some people may have tried to block you as you moved in another direction, and you've had to hold strong to it. So there's something very also solo about this. And this is what your animal spirit guides have really kind of gathered together to help you with, just being like, there are some times in life where we have to go it alone. We have to trust ourselves. We do not have the support of the group, and we have to not let other people sway us. This peacock is so determined, the way that it's just completely turned its back to not be swayed. It's just like, no, I don't even want to hear it anymore. I'm just doing my own thing, which is amazing, really amazing. The green is really popping here too, so that's the heart chakra. Yeah, you're just opening up to different things. You're going in the direction of your heart. You're following your heart essentially, and maybe you feel like you haven't done that in the past, that you've sort of conformed to certain things, or you've followed your head, or you've gone with what was rational or logical. But all of your spirit animal guides here are really, really saluting you for going with your heart and encouraging you to just take your own unique path. That's what they want for you, and that's what they're supporting you in. We also have the starfish. Amazing. Yeah. So this, I think, speaks to, yeah, they're being unique. Again, it's just such a strong energy of having to go against the grain, against the crowd, do your own thing. But this starfish is almost wants to bring you joy and wants you to celebrate this moment of just like being entirely yourself, and all of the ways and all of your greatness too. The starfish is it's has a star power to it. Your the ways that you're a star. I think your animal, you may have already just gone through a lot of this energy or work through a lot of energy. Some of you may be facing it right now, but others may have already been through it. And it's like your starfish spirit guide wants to applaud you in embracing your true nature, your true star power, your specialness, everything, by removing yourself from things that weren't meant for you or people that weren't like you, something like that. Like truly, because this is such a strong energy, like truly turning your back on the crowd. Your animal spirit team are just like saluting you right now, Pile 3, because it can't have been easy, and it took a lot of determination, at times almost a stubbornness. There is almost a little bit of a stubbornness, like an absolute determination to look in the other direction here, away from the crowd. So yeah, we have cultivation. It's almost as if like the things that you have wanted to grow and cultivate within yourself, and again, this card is so incredibly green. It has to do with the heart chakra. Emotional, it's like your emotional development has led you away from what you maybe have known, has led you to break away from the crowd into this kind of quite interesting green garden. I do think that some of you feel like this growth has been stunted by whatever it is that you were in, that you couldn't grow in the environment you were in, that it blocked your development and cultivating parts of yourself that were more meaningful, so that you could have a more meaningful experience of life, basically. And you're so determined. The determination here is fierce, Pile 3, and I do think it's your spirit animal guides is just like, yeah, behind you or have your back as you sort of like, I'm not going to let anything get in my way. I'm going to grow. I'm going to claim things that are mine too. If people have just gotten in your way, that's really coming through for me here. We have the Three of Lotuses in reverse here. So the Three of Lotuses is the Three of Cups. So for some of you, this may be a social circle situation. This is in reverse, and it was speaking to me about, yeah, you're leaving behind a group dynamic. It's maybe friends, it's maybe co-workers. It could look different, but upright, it's like these they're all in unison, like these boaters, and they're all moving in the same direction, but the way they're reclined, it's like they're kind of just I don't know, the feeling I'm getting is that you're rejecting a sort of energy of just unthinkingly going with the crowd, going through the motions. You're just breaking away. You're and some of you may have ended certain friendships too, and there's a lot of determination about that. And again, there's a bit of stubbornness. Your peacock animal guide wants you to have a certain, there is a pride to the peacock, of course. The peacock is very, very proud of their incredible feathers, but they want you to have a sense of strength and pride and also boundaries and determination. Your peacock is helping you with these boundaries, I think, but also being proud of who you are. So not worrying if, for instance, people disagree with you, or you're just no longer aligning or conforming with certain expectations, that your peacock is just like, to hell with them. We have the phoenix in reverse, and of course, I guess the phoenix is a mythical creature, obviously, and speaks of, rebirth, coming, rising from the ashes. This is in reverse. It's like there's been, and again, I was picking up on this with the cultivation card. It's like there's been this blocked growth, and because it's been blocked, it's as if you have been stunted quite seriously, pulled, held down, or blocked from being who you truly are or something like that. And because of this, it's led to all of this stagnant energy and almost decay and death, like the death of things that could have been, or missed opportunities because you were just swimming with the crowd. You were neglecting who you maybe really were. So at this point, it's almost like, in order to recapture who you really are, it's like a rebirth, it's like a rising from the ashes. There's a blockage here, there is a struggle. And this is under these koi carp, It's just, you're removing anything that has gotten in your way of you being your absolute best self and who you truly are. This is what your spirit animal team are guiding you towards, to really claiming yourself and also just a new phase of life. And I can feel with this reversal that this is not easy at all. But it's also happening. I don't see this reversal as like as a real blockage or a rejection in the way that I'm seeing this with the Three of Lotuses, but just a struggle. Like, this is not easy at all. And other people may have made it harder, your natural growth, to the point that you're feeling like you're having to pick yourself up out of the ashes. With the Two of Embers here, again, it's a two, but it sort of features, this is the Two of Wands. You know what's interesting here? Like, we have a group of people, and this was coming through strongly. Group dynamics, friendship dynamics, could be co-workers for some people. So we had that here. We had it again on the Three of Lotuses, but it's like there's another person here, but they're not on the card. Can you see those hands? It's like there's a ring of people. I think with this deck, it's, if you lay out the deck, you can see some of them sort of continue into the next card. So maybe this figure is sort of on the next card, but again, this is speaking to somebody breaking away, someone being cut off or cutting themselves off. So this could be either or. Definitely we're sensing that you are removing yourself from people, but what is coming through to me is some kind of degree of hostility or conflict around this. This is not a happy exit. There's the harshness to the way this person has been sliced off, right? So some of you may feel like you're being ejected from the group, but I do think you don't want to be there. It seems like this is, but the way these people are still, like, this person has gone, but these people are sort of dancing with each other as if they don't realize that the other person isn't there on the card. So yeah, it may have been also that you sort of slipped away here. You're just not there, right? And maybe you're not willing to give an explanation. Like, it's for each of you, it will be a different sort of scenario. Either way, you're no longer sort of this dancing too is just making me think that perhaps you were in an environment for a while where were sort of engaged in more superficial things, partying, things like that, a certain kind of lifestyle, which you feel like you've kind of grown out of at this point. It doesn't make sense to you. It's not fulfilling. It doesn't provide you with the growth that you're looking for. And you're looking for so much more. Again, you're turning your back on this. You're turning your back on so much, Pile 3. It's impressive, and it's requiring strength. It's requiring some degree also of pride and stubbornness. Which, you know, all of these things, if we apply them in the right way, they can be helpful, especially if we're trying to assert our boundaries, like being proud of ourselves, taking pride in our own values and things like that. But just, this is so interesting, the way this person is cut off. If somebody has cut you off, I feel like you don't care, or you certainly won't be caring, and certainly, like, your spirit animal team is guiding you specifically through this transition away from certain people. This seems to be the center of this, is that these animal guides are just like, this isn't working for you, and you're more than this, and you're going in a different direction. And look, it's followed by the Six of Trees. Yeah, this is the Six of Pentacles. So typically a card of giving and receiving, right? But what I'm getting here is just like there's a sense of you're moving in a very, very positive and also very peaceful direction. This is just like, there's something kind of idyllic about this. You may have a vision of the way you want, and also, like I said, like moving away from certain more superficial energies, and you're figuring out what is meaningful to you and how you want your life to look. And there's a determination to achieve that, even if it means cutting off people that have been a big part of your life. The purple, I don't know why this purple is calling me. This is the color of the crown chakra, so this is about higher knowledge. It's about your intuition. It's about your higher self. Yeah, this is very guided. You're very guided to do this, both by your animal spirit team, but also your larger spirit team. And, you know, this is where you're supposed to be going, and you know it. And I think you're guided by a deeper sense of purpose at this point. That's why you're so determined to go against the grain, because you know that this is the right path for you, and you're just very, very supported in this path by these amazing animal spirits. So we also have the raven showing up for you. This is sort of a bit similar to, I think, a magpie came through on another read, and the raven, of course, is sort of, they're of the same family. They're all crows, and the raven is quite a majestic, very tall crow, right? Very powerful, has a lot of stature almost. But there's also a lot of mythology, particularly in Europe. The crow family has a lot of mythology around it. The way this raven, the raven, it's speaking to me about sort of possessing, because whatever it is it has in its beak too, it's like possessing its own personal power, really owning that, which again, the peacock speaks to that kind of thing, being proud of who you are, even if you're quite different or you're not like the others, right? But it's also about valuing the way that this raven has this, what does it have in its beak? I don't know what that is, but it's valuable to the raven, right? It's about claiming what you think is valuable, because you've been going through this stage where you're having to sort what has value from what isn't, what you've outgrown and what you're growing towards. If you're turning your back on a lot, you're also really deeply considering what's worth taking with you and what is really meaningful, what really has value. And your raven spirit is really helping you through this, showing you what has value. And you can trust your own instincts on this. And I do think you're tuning into Pile 3. I think you're really tuning into that in order to make this transition of like, what has worth, what has outgrown its purpose, like what is just pulling you down, what is ultimately just a toxic kind of low vibing thing at this point, what is bolstering you, what is feeding you, what is precious to you. Your raven is helping you with discernment, because you're having to exercise discernment here, but I just think you know. And even if you're in this state where you have to lose everything, you have such a clear image of what you want at this point. And even if you have to rebuild your life in some way with this cultivation, it's like there's an inner knowing here that it will be okay. You don't know how this is going to look, but with this cultivation card, you're quite determined to rebuild your life. Even if it doesn't quite, you don't quite know what it's going to look like right now, but you are very, very strongly supported and guided, though, as you make this transition. You have a lot of energy around you that's rooting for you, that is trying to help you through this transition, which for some of you may be quite chaotic. Like, I'm not getting huge conflict vibes, but there is definitely somebody that's sort of turning their back and sort of cutting things off and people off because they feel like their growth has been stunted. And there's a struggle to kind of just needed evolution here. For some reason, I just feel like this shouldn't be in reverse. I mean, it's in reverse, but I don't think that I think this is happening. Why it was reversed, though, is it's almost like it shouldn't be a phoenix from the ashes situation, but that's what's happened. It's like, if I wasn't really clear in laying this out the first time, it's almost like, okay, because you didn't cultivate the right things, because your growth felt blocked by things, what should have been an organic transition feels like this phoenix from the ashes thing, because things weren't growing, so they died. So it's easier to repair a thing if you weed out things before they kill the plant, right? So if a plant is dying, or a plant is just sort of, there's some kind of there's weeds around, or there's some kind of poison, like if you tend to something before it dies, it's much easier to recover it. Whereas something died here, and it has to do with personal growth and finding your own unique path, which means that it's ended up feeling like you're having to rise out of this ashes, and it should never have really been this way. Yeah. So I hope that this good for you, Pile 3. I hope this does resonate with some of you out there. Please do leave me a comment if this feels like it's your story. I would be very curious to hear from you. But also, yeah, do like, subscribe, and all the usual things I have to ask. To help build the channel, because I do love doing these readings for you guys. And stay strong. Stay strong, Pile 3s, and I look forward to reading for you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome, Pile 4. You picked the pink Tourmaline. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really am happy to have you here. We're doing a reading all about messages from your animal spirit guides. So this is something I haven't done before. We're just sort of calling in the animal spirits to see what kind of guidance and insight they have to offer us about whatever it is that you're currently going through. So obviously this is a collective read, so please only take what feels like it's meant for you. We have the rabbit, we have panda, we have the earthworm, we have new moon. So I am filming this video just before the new moon, so I'm not sure when I will post it, but the new moon is obviously significant here. We have the bridge, we have the 9 of birds, we have life on earth, we have the vessel, we also have here dandelion. Okay, so the rabbit. So this rabbit, so first off, this rabbit it's the redness here that's also coming through to me, which speaks to the root chakra, which is all about grounding things in reality. This rabbit, as rabbit tends to be, is on high alert. It's just like very watchful, up on its hind legs, right? I do think this animal, this rabbit animal spirit is very much guarding you, Pile 4. Is very, very protective of you, is very guarding you through a particular transition that you're facing currently. This rabbit spirit, without wanting to make you anxious, does want you to watch your back in some ways, which I don't mean to suggest that anything is out to get you. It's more of a self-protective thing. Wants you to be guarded, guard your energy. The transition you're going through is very, very important right now. It's very meaningful, and it's almost like the vibe I'm getting is that this has been in the works for a long time. So it's like, let nothing disturb this. This is the rabbit energy is sort of trying to. It's like you've been through a long journey to reach, let's say, the light at the end of a tunnel. It's something like that. So this rabbit is guarding you and also asking you to guard yourself, your own energy, as you just make the final touches of this cycle that may have been a very, very, very long cycle that you have been stuck in for a long time. There has been a journey that you have been on, Pile 4, and this rabbit is guarding you as you come out of it. It's almost like let nothing compromise you in this final stages, because to have a setback now, like, I don't want to alarm you, but it's just, this is the rabbit's energy to me. The rabbit really wants you to have positive change in your life, particularly just in the realm of grounding things into reality. You may have felt quite alone for a while. That's coming through. Your rabbit just really wants stuff to happen for you. And the energy is so strong for this rabbit. It's like it's because the rabbit is pretty. The rabbit is not exactly a predator. Like, the rabbit, we're not exactly intimidated by rabbits that come across our path, but the energy I'm getting from this rabbit is almost, and we're talking about the spirit animals, right? So of course in our spirit forms, we're all pretty fierce and pretty strong if we have to be. But this rabbit, it's sort of, it's as if anything got in your way at this point, they would wrestle it to the ground, which is kind of funny, I know, to say about a rabbit, but that is the vibe. So this panda, Panda. Oh, I love pandas. Panda balance. Ask how to bring balance to the situation and into your heart. Yes, this panda is also wanting you to the way the panda is sort of grasped onto, I guess, what is probably bamboo, right? Pandas eat bamboo, don't they? Yeah. I think so. Anyway, there's also something here about holding on. So again, there's an overall energy in your life, pile 4, of just like you're almost there. You've almost reached some kind of place in your life where I just think good things are coming. This is why your animal spirit guides are so like we're almost there now. We just like, there's just a few things that need to fall into place, and hold on. So this panda spirit is really asking you to hold on, because balance is coming. Hold on tight. Let nothing deter you. Let nothing distract you. Don't let your thoughts wander. You're being asked by your spirit animal guides also to be incredibly focused right now on, look, this will mean different things to each of you if you're resonating with this, and whatever this is. There's a siren, just so that doesn't distract me. The sirens, when I listen to these videos back, they never seem to pick up the sirens, but of course I can hear them. So it's like your animal spirit team is just like, you're almost there. It's really, really important that you think positively, you maintain positive, you stand strong, you are your own ally, that you find balance. Balance is coming into your life. You may have fought for a sense of balance, you may have struggled with that, but all of your animal spirit team is fiercely trying to protect and guide you just in these end stages of something. Your panda wants you to hold on to everything you love that's coming through. Your panda wants you to hold on and not be distracted. It's like there's distractions around you that are causing you to doubt or just making you feel bad or something like that. Your panda wants you to prioritize things that you love and guard your environment from anything negative. It wants you to find inner balance by connecting with the things you really love. So whether it's just as these changes happen, whatever they are for you, pile 4, connect with, whether it's particularly you have a love of music or a love of nature or watching films or whatever it is that makes you feel connected to yourself, to love, let yourself love the things you love. I mean, it's a simple message that I think is always a good one, right? Focus on what you love rather than what you don't. Don't let these negative, silly things take your focus away. Refocus onto what feels meaningful in life and what deepens your experience of life, right? So we have the earthworm, and again there's something here with the root chakra red that speaks of grounding, and the earthworm is a very, very grounded creature. The earthworm, I feel like worms don't get their due. They're amazing creatures. They are. Ask David Attenborough, seriously, the worms do so much for the soil. Like, they are essential for the for the balance of our environment, right? So again, I just said balance, and balance is the panda's message, right? But there's also something self-protective again here. Like, it's almost like this earthworm is drawing a circle around something magical. Protect yourself from anyone that could distract you, from any negative influences. Protect your magic too, your magical world, whatever it is. I do think that your animal spirit team wants you to be more careful of people. And again, I don't want to make you paranoid or give negative messages here, but I have to speak on this because this is what I feel like the animal spirits want to convey to you, pile 4, is that be alert to any negative influences around you, which I don't mean anyone's out to get you. A lot of people can be negative unthinkingly, right? They want you to find balance within yourself, hold strong as you make this final transition towards something very positive. A lot will be grounding around you, but be very, very protective of your energy. Always guard your energy. It doesn't, even if there's nothing, like, we don't all have to be specifically under attack or people being negative around us. It's just like actually always good guidance to guard your energy, to guard your environment, to be very mindful of who you let in and who you let close to you. And this is a lesson that your animal team wants to convey to you. you have a very strong, very magical energy. A lot of people may have strong reactions to it. You may stir up a lot of insecurities in others. You may stir up a lot of self-doubt or just confusion in other people. And you may also be very giving. So again, this is something you have to balance. Being open-hearted and also helping others. Because I do think that Pile 4 is that you like to help and serve others. You like to be open. You're the kind of person that will listen to other people's problems and wants to be there for others. But your animal spirit team here is telling you to be more wary and discerning of who you give your energy to and to guard your energy. Not everyone deserves it, basically. And at the moment, because you're in such a delicate phase of transitional phase, to be extra specially aware. I don't usually come across so strong in these things, but like this is what the animals are telling me. Right now, it's really, really important for you. It's really, really important. Changes and things that are happening around you are so significant and very positive, like I said, that do not let anyone distract you, but also don't let anyone else don't waste your energy on anyone. No. And of course, like, you have to be discerning of who is worth your time and who isn't, but I do think that there's a lot of self-focus that is needed here, and your rabbit in particular is just like so much guarding you, so very protective of you. We have the new moon here, so the new moon speaks to new beginnings. So this is a new beginning that has been planned. It's been a long time coming, and your animal spirit your animal spirit team is determined that you have the fresh start that's due to you. They're absolutely determined. If you have been seeing any synchronicities with the rabbits and pandas, you probably haven't with the worms, right? Because it's not like we don't tend to see like worms like on like cuddly worms. Well, maybe we do, but like it's not something that you'd often see like as a mascot somewhere, whereas pandas and rabbits, you might see them more often, right? Now, of course, if you're tuned in, if you're looking, if you're open, if you let them present themselves to you in your field of vision, right? If you notice them, I do think they are always around you, always being protective, trying to support you and guide you to this place of greater balance, so you can have this new moon, new beginning. Like I said, I am filming this close to the time of the new moon in Virgo, but of course you may be watching this at another time. But yeah, the new moon is all about having a fresh start, and you've earned this. There's a bridge here, and your animal spirit team want to get you to the other side of this bridge. This has been overdue. A lot has gone into this. A lot of effort has been gone in from you, but also your spirit team, to get you over a bridge, over a hump, over a difficult time, from one phase of life to another, and let nothing distract you. Also, the glow here. Again, you have a glow, Pile 4. I don't know if you know this, but you do. You have a glow and other people can see it. So again, when we speak of sort of self-protection, because it wouldn't occur to you that anyone else would respond negatively to this glowing light of yours. Why would anyone respond negatively to this? Because you're such a positive person. Yes, because other people, what I'm getting is that other people, you maybe are a slightly older soul or more developed soul than the norm. So if you're in a stage when you're around a lot of people, it may just be that you draw the attention of certain people to their lack of development as a soul. And this is not intentional, because I think a lot of you are healers, have a very strong light. I mean, that's coming through incredibly strongly, how strong your light is and how magical you are. But at this moment in time, you do have to protect that light, because as strong and powerful and evolved as you are, you still are, people will still affect you. Of course other people's energy will still affect you, because you are so open. You do have to protect yourself. I know I'm just repeating myself now, but if you're wondering if you have been attracting some naysayers or just some negative energy, know that the problem is theirs, not yours. That your shine is very clear to everyone, and absolutely, and you'll be shining brighter pretty soon, shining even brighter. The Nine of Birds, yeah. So this is the Nine of Swords in the traditional deck. So we have this under balance. I think some of you have been having a lot of self-doubt lately, or you've been having a lot of fears. Again, I do think some of you are picking up on other people's fears and self-doubt. You're very energetically open, and that is something you have to be aware of because it's toppling your balance. You're picking up a lot of other people's energy. Some of you, of course, may have very legitimate worries and things that are troubling you. But if you look at this particular depiction, right? She has a bow and arrow and she's shooting down these birds, but I do think, is she shooting the birds or no? She's just shooting. I don't know why she would shoot the birds, especially in this reading, animal spirit reading. That there is something coming through to me about needing, again, it's just so strong, needing to defend yourself energetically at the moment, because your spirit animal can try and protect you. They can only do so much, right? They need you to protect yourself also. They can offer you the protection, any protection they can, but in the end, you do have to guard your environment. And sometimes, because perhaps you are kind of a more of a gentle energy, Pal 4, loving, open, you want to help others, that you often think the best of people. Often if people are behaving in a particular way, you will blame yourself and you will look to something that you've done wrong, when it's really about that person, and you have to stand stronger in your own energy and defend yourself from other people's sort of negativity. Life on Earth. Ooh. This is a very romantic card. It's also very supportive. It's under the Panda's balance also. So I think if there has been some more negative energy around you, know that as you end this transitional phase and move on to a more beautiful new moon era of your life, that there's a lot more support coming in for you that's going to offer you a lot of balance. You're going to be drawing, as you get better also at protecting your energy and protecting your magic, right? Protect your magic, Pole 4. That's the Earthworm's message. Not everyone deserves your magic or to be close to it even. And I think sometimes when you experience or you feel unseen or unappreciated, you really take these things to heart. But this vessel, you're a divine vessel. God, and I don't say that to everyone, Pole 4, but you are. You have an incredible glow. And like I said, sometimes other people don't know how to react to it, and they might find that it makes them feel certain things negatively about themselves, and then they turn that negativity against you. I think a lot of you are probably quite modest, quite humble, and you just don't realize that that's what's happening, so you blame yourself. Now, with this vessel, you are glowing right now, Pole 4, so know that you are drawing some very positive energy towards you as well. And with this life on Earth, this grounding balance, a lot of good things are going to be coming your way. Nothing can stop this, so if there has been some negative vibes around you, know that they're not going to stay there, and they're not going to deter you. No, not if this rabbit has anything to do with it. Your rabbit is really, really, really very protective of you. If this rabbit had big teeth, it would be like biting your naysayers. Sorry, Pole 4, I'm amusing myself, but it's just such a funny energy for such a little creature. It's like it's not even a hare, it's a rabbit. But yeah, life on Earth, your grounded reality, a lot of things are going to be grounding into your reality, and you're going to be that are going to be incredibly, incredibly positive. And especially with the dandelion here at the end. Yet another siren, sorry. It's wish it well, wherever it's going. The dandelion, we make a wish on the dandelion, right? I mean, strongly, I feel like your wishes, some kind of wish is coming true here, and that's why your animal spirit team are so like, don't lose focus, like we're almost there, please, just like a few more, or I don't know, like it's just like it's energy, it's just like there isn't much time to go or things to put in place before your life on Earth basically looking so different and so much more positive and balanced. This dandelion is really telling me it's because this is why your animal spirit team are so guarded and protective of you right now, and wanting you to guard things, because your dreams are so close to you that if you're knocked off in any way, if you let negative influences affect you, it just it doesn't mean that the dreams are not going to come true, but it also just prolongs this period. But I'm not thinking that they will. I'm not thinking they will, but there's interesting lessons here. There is lessons here to be learnt about protecting your energy, guarding your energy, and also about just knowing, like, I know when I'm saying to you, oh, you glow, you are this divine vessel, it's very hard to know what to do with that as a human. Like, you can't walk around thinking I'm this glowing divine vessel. Sure. Maybe you can, I don't know. Having a healthy self-image, right? It's all about self-respect, right? You shouldn't need to look to others to confirm to you, even me, right, that you're a glowing divine vessel. Like, I'm just someone on the internet, right? But like, if it resonates with you, if you know it, then know this. You don't need this confirmed or denied by anyone. But if people are denying your magic and your glow, which maybe they have been lately, this is a lesson. It's a little lesson in just grounding into yourself, connecting with your own sense of self-value, self-worth, working on all of these things, and know that just like we can't feed off other people's compliments, right, in order to feel strong and feel like we respect ourselves, but at the same time feeling a lack of confidence or knocked down every time someone perhaps we feel like someone doesn't like you, or someone just doesn't seem to, like it's the same kind of thing, right? We criticism or praise shouldn't be knocking you down or rising you up. You should be able to generate that energy from within. You should have a relationship with yourself that is strong, that it doesn't matter if someone passes through your world that seems to not like you, or all of that, or if someone comes along and praises you, you can acknowledge that and value it, but your sense of self-worth comes from within and is cultivated from within, and there's a balance there. There's balance. This is what this panda is speaking on. So thank you, panda. Thank you, rabbit and earthworm. Thank you for your messages. This is just beautiful. And I have to just add with the birds here, because I think perhaps I didn't acknowledge them as the spirit animals they are in this card. I'm not quite sure what kind of birds they are, but also, you know what, because some of them seem to be kind of attacking her a little bit, or like around her. It does seem to me, that there's sort of energies around you that you just sort of need to learn to protect yourself from and not take so seriously. But I won't keep going over that, because I think we've got the message here that our amazing spirit animal guides have brought through for you. But Pearl 4, you shiny vessel, glowing thing, thank you for joining me here today. I hope this resonated with you. Please do leave me a comment if this was you, and also leave me a comment if you do experience synchronicities with these animals, because I would love to hear that. If you do find that you're seeing pandas everywhere, let me know. I would love to hear that. But yeah, like, subscribe, and all the usual stuff I have to ask. Look forward to reading for you next time. Pearl 4, take care. Bye. Hello, Pearl 5, and welcome to your reading. You picked the Amazonite, and today we're asking for messages from your animal spirit guides. So we're looking for guidance and insights about whatever it is you're currently facing. We're welcoming all kind of animal spirit guides into the reading. And we're looking forward to seeing what comes up, right? This is obviously a collective reading, so take only what feels like it's meant for you and leave anything else. Always exercise discernment, here. So we have the scorpion, we have the kangaroo, and we have the cosmic egg. We also have animal allies. You see, when this I shuffle, I obviously pre-shuffle your cards, but I promise you I don't see them ahead of time unless they fall head first, face up, right? And I try not to glance, but this animal allies card fell right in front of my face, and I had to kind of squeal, because it's sort of, so very appropriate, and such a strong message to come through, right? But yeah, I do sort of, if you're curious, I do I take your stone, your crystal, and I will consult with my decks. I often shuffle for a really, really long time to make sure that, like, if you do read and if you do shuffle, then you know that cards have a way of making themselves known to you, but if they want to be part of the spread, but sometimes they fly out, and sometimes you're there for a really, really long time trying to shuffle, which is why I think it makes more sense, for me at least, or for the way I'm doing these reads, to shuffle off camera and make sure that these cards are sort of pre-selected, right? So we have Infinite Paths, we have the 8 of Lotuses, we have the 3 of Birds, and we have the Ace of Birds. We also have the Acorn. Okay, so we have Scorpion as at the top here, your animal spirit guide. Of course, the Scorpion is very defensive. The Scorpion we associate with Scorpio, of course, so if you are a Scorpio, hey, and welcome. Love you guys. But the Scorpion stings when they feel defensive, when they feel they have to protect themselves. I'm getting more of a sense that your Scorpion is trying to protect you very much from energies around you. And your Scorpion is sort of also bringing forth a message about when... This is funny, this is similar to pile 4. If any were drawn with pile 4, is that I do think you guys... there are messages. There's been a lot of common themes, because obviously this is pile 5, so I've done the other piles, and I didn't know what to expect from this because I haven't done a reading like this before. But there are so many common themes here from the animal spirit guides, and one of them, there's a lot about self-love, embracing who you really are, but was also coming through, and is coming through really strongly to me now, pile 5, is guarding your environment, being self-protective. But also there's a thing, and if you struggle, for instance, pile 5, if you're a little bit of a people pleaser and have this need to be liked, perhaps maybe you're a Scorpio, but perhaps you're also like a Libra, maybe you're a Taurus, someone with strong Venus energy, who does tend to want harmony and sometimes will compromise their own needs to maintain harmony. The Scorpion is a character that stings, and it may be you have struggle with asserting your boundaries at times, pile 5, but you don't know how to do that in the right way because you don't want to offend people, you don't want to sting anyone like the Scorpion. But the Scorpion is here actually guiding you and giving you permission to actually, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Sometimes you have to assert your boundaries really strongly. Sometimes you have to be the fiercer version of yourself and not worry about hurting others, especially if people are around you being a particular way, right? And that's coming through to me, that there's probably a situation in your life in which you feel like you've just sort of had to smile and keep going, and not really say what you think because you fear conflict. So the kangaroo here, your kangaroo spirit ally here, is asking you to have courage. You are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth. The kangaroo is obviously a very bouncy creature, like very buoyant, and there's something very joyful and innocent about that. I do think that this kangaroo is also, yes, asking you to be courage, but also asking you to be lighthearted, not take certain things so seriously, not take certain people so seriously, to take a light approach to things, to be, it's just, what's coming through to me is that you don't know, again, this has been, I feel like in every pile, you don't know your greatness. We are asking for messages from sort of animal spirit guides, so it's sort of like, kind of like your spirit guides, but specifically, I do believe we have certain animals, that guide us in certain moments of time, and perhaps you have one specific animal that you think of as your spirit animal, and then at other times of life, particularly if you're very in tune with the synchronicities you've received, other animals come into our life, for certain moments. But the message is so strong of you don't know your own beauty, you don't know your own power, and perhaps if we have guides, we have guardians, people looking over us, perhaps they see us as we are, and they see our strength, and they see everything we go through in a clear way, and maybe that's why these messages have been so strong. Your kangaroo spirit animal wants you not to take things so seriously, particularly when it comes to other people. maybe being a little bit negative, and maybe in life in general. Your kangaroo wants you to tap into your innate well of courage and bravery. Perhaps there's something that you have to do here, Pile 5, that you're nervous about, or you're scared. You're scared to assert yourself. Maybe you are the more gentle type or more Venus-like diplomatic type, but you're having to stand in your truth. Yeah, stand in your truth. So your kangaroo is really guiding you through this moment and is bringing you strength, and your scorpion is permitting you to be fierce. And it doesn't mean be cruel. It doesn't mean to actually sting, but don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid that you may accidentally do that, because I do think that you're someone, my Pile 5s, that is quite gentle and will avoid conflict. So perhaps for you, coming across strong seems cruel, but others might say this is assertive. So there's a line there, right? In owning your own strength and power, or some people might interpret that as aggressive. It's like there is a line, but I think you're quite far from this line, and that you avoid this. This cosmic egg, again, I do think this might be connected to the last pile, Pile 4, if you were drawn to that as well, because we have a snake that is clutching this egg. I think that there is a snake spirit that is incredibly protective of you, Pile 5, that is just like deeply sort of mine, of just sort of determined that you have what you want from life, that you are successful. Your snake spirit sees you as very peaceful, very gentle, very loving, and also very magical, very cosmic, but they also fiercely want to protect your magic. If this snake could, it would absolutely sting anyone that ever hurts you, that would get in your way, because they see you as so magic, and they also want you to see it too, to know that you are such a good soul. And perhaps sometimes people around you don't see that, but your snake spirit almost sees you as sort of that you have this purity that a lot of people don't have, and they almost see you as too good, too precious to even be here down in this energy. That's why they're so very protective of you. But hey, that's the snake. Of course, you're here and you chose to be here, and you can absolutely have a very positive experience here and have positive things. We have animal allies, so I do think that the scorpion and the kangaroo and the snake are just a taste of the support that you have. I think there are so many more powerful allies you have around you. I mean, we do have a butterfly here on this card. We have a goat. We have a tiger and a zebra, so any one of those animals may be precious to you, or familiar to you, Pile 5. This does suggest to me that you're very, very, very connected to the animal spirit realm, to the spirit realm in general. Sorry, I have to cough. Tickle in my throat. Actually, I think I just need to take a sip of tea. Sorry, Pile 5. I think you're very, very intuitive, Pile 5, and very spiritually in tune. So I think you do have, more than the norm, and perhaps more than the other piles, a very, very deep connection to Mother Earth, to Gaia, to the animal spirit realm. And you do need to know that you can tap into this energy at any time. You can tap into this guidance. If you just go and sit out in a wild space, in a grass somewhere, wherever you can get to, a wood, a beach, whatever landscape you live in, and just sort of tune into yourself and see what kind of animals come your way, or creatures. And sometimes it's even like bugs. Like lately I've been finding a lot of ladybugs, which I love, just sort of unexpectedly on my clothing. And I know that's a good sign, but it's stuff like that when if we pay attention to it, we pay attention to the creatures that are revealing themselves to us, because I think that Pile 5s, like, there's so much that wants to support you and guide you. And I think, yes, some of you may have animals, pets, some of you may have cats, and your cats, I think, really want to communicate with you and I'm sure that they do communicate with you in their way, right? Or you feel like you're exchanging messages with them in their way, in your way, but you're so deeply connected to the animal kingdom, basically. And I think, yeah, if some of you actually don't have pets, but you've contemplated that, surrounding yourself with animals as much as possible is also, I think, would be really positive for you. So let's move on to Infinite Path here. I love this card, but it's also sort of telling me that there is so much potential for you. If you're at a crossroads moment in your life, know that whatever you choose, there's so much potential for success. Like, there are so many ways that your life could go, and there's so many ways that you could excel. There are so many ways that you could so many different kind of avenues you could take and be highly successful and meaningful to you. And your spirit animal guides are there with you, rooting for you, are supporting you with whatever choice you make. So you may currently be facing quite a significant choice about basically where to go with your life right now, Pile 5. Your spirit animal guides are assuring you that there is no wrong choice, really. So long as you are in tune with yourself, so long as you follow your heart, your deeper sense of calling, you make a decision from your intuition, like from your soul, you can't go wrong. And you are in tune with yourself in the way that not everyone is, Pile 5. Like, so know that there are many possible paths open for you, and you can succeed in whatever it is that you choose to do. We do have the 8 of Lotuses, which is the 8 of Cups of the traditional deck, which does speak to walking away from things. I do think that there is something to walk away from, which may be just a natural transitional phase that you're going through, Pile 5, and leaving things behind. With the Scorpion, of course, we were feeling that there was things that you had to stand up for, people that you had to stand up for yourself against. And I do think that there's a need to walk away from things. So it may be something that perhaps can't be easily resolved, but there is a necessity to stand up for yourself and then walk away. But something does need to be walked away from here. We do also have a whale here. Oh, we have a whale coming through for you. On this 8 of Lotus cards, I think you can see. Yeah, so the whale is a very strong, is a huge animal, and a very obviously a very deep diving animal. So again, one thing that will help you through this transition if you're dealing with some difficult energy is going deep, going within, meditating, connecting to your spirituality, to your intuition, all of these things. I'm getting such a lovely soft energy from you, Pile 5s. Like, you're good souls. But yeah, you may struggle with just feeling like you've pissed people off, and sometimes sometimes people can be very much in the wrong. Sometimes people can be all kinds of ways, right? And it's almost impossible to avoid that energy and exist in this world unless we're going to be a complete hermit. Like, we will come up against some difficult energy at times. So knowing how to assert ourselves and assert our boundaries, we don't have to sort of sacrifice ourselves to please everyone, and that's a really important lesson. I think your spirit animal allies are kind of guiding you through right now, but there is a strong necessity here to walk away from certain things, because we have the 3 of Birds as well, and this is the 3 of Swords card. Courage, yeah, you are being tested. For some of you, this may be happening in the context of a relationship. Some of you may be having to walk away from a very painful, difficult relationship, where the dynamic has become difficult, when perhaps you don't feel that you're being respected and seen and valued. And sure, this is not easy, and it's also not without pain. I do think some of you have been unfairly on the receiving end of some difficult stuff, and if that's the case, I'm very sorry. But the way that this Ace of Birds or Ace of Swords is following this, there is a need to speak on this. So this may be the area. This is not for all of you, but some of you, it has to do with potentially breaking up with someone, or it's just saying your piece to somebody that has maybe not treated you well. Have faith and stand in your truth. Yes, this is asking you to be courageous in this, because there's some hurt here, and perhaps you also really fear hurting somebody that has been important to you, or that you have had a meaningful connection with. Perhaps you've wanted to get out of this situation for quite a while, Pearl 5, but you just don't want to hurt somebody. But this Ace of Birds is really, really asking you to speak your truth here. The character in this card always has a weird vibe for me, because it's like this bird. It's like this icy bird. It's almost as if, let's say, you're trying to get out of something, or you're trying to let someone else down, or you're needing to reject someone in some way, and you're running through the words that you want to speak, but it feels like there's no way to do it without being cruel or icy. And yeah, I did say earlier, like, sometimes you got to be cruel to be kind, to be real, to be authentic. This is, again, you might have strong Libra energy, and of course, Libra opposes Aries. Aries, that axis, basically, it's all about authenticity versus diplomacy. It's about being ourselves and putting ourselves first and our needs, self-determination, versus the needs of others. Libra it can be quite self-sacrificing to please others, or it's all about us rather than me. So perhaps you are someone that has strong Libra energy, but you're being asked to be more Aries-like, and that perhaps doesn't come more naturally to you to just be very, very self-assertive. But whatever the context of this situation is, whatever this is for you, it needs to be done. It's an important lesson to learn, to speak your truth without fear of other people's responses or fear of hurting someone else, to put yourself first and your own needs first. The way this is coming under the cosmic egg, this snake spirit animal of yours is so protective of you, and also doesn't want you to be with anyone that is undeserving. They see you as so special. I love this snake spirit. They see you as so special and precious that they want you only to be with people that are truly deserving. Perhaps you have had partners that were a little bit possessive of you, Pearl 5, or just controlling, and your snake spirit wants to guide you out of this pattern. They want you to be with people that truly value you and respect you and will allow you your freedom. Again, I'm getting quite a gentle energy from you, Pearl 5, so it's like perhaps you're quite willing to give of yourself and wanting to please of others, but your snake spirit animal just is fearful, doesn't want people to take advantage of you, and doesn't want any controlling energies around you. And it's important that you assert yourself against people that are trying to do things like that, because we do have this acorn card here at the end, and the acorn is all about growth, right? It's like, from the tiny acorn, amazing strong trees can grow. And with this infinite path, it's like you're at this time of life where you're ready to move forward and grow, and there's so much potential. And you don't want anything dampening that. You don't want anyone restricting your growth. And I do think that some people have just a real hold on you, and you don't know how to speak your truth without causing pain. And that's sort of not the way to look at it. You have to put yourself first here. And you also have to, it's about discerning who is worth your energy, like what you deserve. Particularly, I think for some of you, this may be more of a romantic situation that you're trying to get out of, or you're trying to let someone down. It's all about boundaries, right? But putting other people before you, or putting other people's feelings before your own feelings, it's a lovely thing. It's a very generous thing. But in this context, like, your spirit animal guides are really kind of trying to help you through this as you put yourself first, and a willingness to really stand in your own power and not be fearful of causing offense and stuff like that, because this acorn wants to grow into something incredible. I do think you're at the beginning of something, whatever that means to you, but in order to have the maximum growth, you cannot have somebody that has their grip on you so tightly that you can't grow in that way. If someone's being controlling or possessive, that's not how an acorn becomes this incredible oak, right? Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be impressive, you're supposed to be strong and grand and magnificent, and you will be. But this is just a lesson that you're in right now, and it's something that your animal spirit guides are guiding you through, and they love you so much, and there's so many of them. Yeah, some of you may already do things like write down your dreams or write down certain synchronicities that you experience, but if you want more of them, if you want like to see more of your spirit animal guides, like the more you notice, the more they will show up for you. Like it's about tuning into them. It's like they want to give you messages, but we miss things because we're often so distracted or self-focused that we can't see things that are going on around us. And I think for you in particular, Pile 5, like if you're able to just sort of like wipe that the lenses clean, there'll be so many spirit animal guides around you that you know, loving you and guiding you, that you'll also receive so many messages of your own. So what a lovely reading. As I said with all the other groups, if any of these animals that I've mentioned that you are already experiencing interesting connections and synchronicities with, if it's already familiar, I would love to hear from that. I'm so curious. You know, if you see kangaroos around, I guess if you're in Australia, that's quite possible. But like, of course, we see animals in all different kinds of ways. But love to hear from you guys, of course. And please do like, subscribe, and all the usual stuff that helps grow the channel. It's very, very much appreciated. But take care and good luck, Pile 5. And I look forward to reading for you the next time. Bye.